Hello, my name is Simge Taşdemir, and I will present trying out new ideas in class today for our Professor Fatoş Uğur Eskiçırak's class, Professional Development. First of all, why new ideas? What's wrong with the existing ones? Well, most of the research papers I have read points out to the world and all its elements constantly changing and advancing toward an uncertain future full of challenges, which is true. The world is going crazier and crazier every day. And for us as teachers, our roles and teaching strategies are constantly being modified to deal with the increasingly complex conditions of classroom and the specific needs of learners. So our role, we need to keep us updated for the needs of our students. So new ideas usually brings the word creativity. We always talk about creativity, we encourage it, we praise it, but when I searched for new ideas in the class or creativity, I came across many papers stating that we love creativity, but majority of teachers express the fear that encouraging creativity in the classroom could lead to chaos, which is true because whenever we try to do something creative, crazy things happen in the class. Like I watched a video on YouTube. There was a lady talking about this. Let the kids, if they don't want to write on paper, let them write on their hands or on their wrists. Or if they don't want to sit on their desks, let them sit on the floor or wherever they want. But we know that as teachers, it's difficult to implement. So there are a few ideas that, there are many ideas, but I chose a few of them. First is STEM-based curriculum. Now, STEM, as we all know, combines several learning approaches that include science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the combination of these four aspects is a harmonious combination to deal with problems that occur in everyday life. Now, I have been doing this. I actually added arts into this equation. I did STEAM-based activities, even with first graders, and they had great fun. I think it was very productive. And there are many research underscoring the positive impact of STEM-based education on fostering creative thinking, problem-solving skills, critical thinking, mental flexibility, and practical application. All those qualities are the things we want our students to have. Now, I'm going to talk about one simple implication of this idea in the class. As we all know, elementary school students, they love making paper planes. They always make airplanes constantly, and then they try to fly them in the class, in the corridor. Now, here is a basic idea, simple idea to turn this fun activity into a STEM idea. Here is airplane challenge and who can fly the most cargo. So we can attach coins and try to make such designs so that we can fly some coins along with the paper plane. So here are some instructions to fold it in a proper way, but I wouldn't even restrict the students. Like if I was doing it in the class, and which I will try to do, I wouldn't even restrict them. They could do other ways. And we could try this. It would be a nice STEM challenge for my third graders. Second is problem-based learning. Problem-based learning refers to meaningful and experiential learning, and students learn by solving problems and reflecting on their experiences. Now, again, problem solving, critical thinking, all good qualities we want us to have, first of all, as teachers and our students to have. I read a research conducted by Gülçin Coşkun Hocam and Derin Akay Hocam, and here in this paper, it is discussed to offer benefits to the learners. They conducted this research in university levels, Turkish students learning English. And they found out that it offers benefits to the learners in terms of both language development and improvement in their critical thinking and creativity. Now, how could I implement this in the class? I have been also occasionally trying this in my class. Whenever there is something comes along, I ask my students, like, how would you do it? Or how could this be done in another way? But there are some ideas which I can try if I have time, like designing a playground with structure suitable to the number of students and their needs and interests. And school traffic during drop-off and pickup times is a big problem for most schools in big cities. I would ask them, they are very smart, although they are kids, they are very smart and they come up with brilliant ideas at times. I would ask them to come up with certain ways, creating ways to manage this school traffic at certain times. Or design a structure for a local garden or park that is appealing and has a function or purpose. So here are a couple of implementations in elementary school level. And the last one I'm going to cover is translanguaging. We are taking this class with Kenan Hoca, and I have been applying it little by little in my class so far. So translanguaging, I love this definition because I love the word beyond. Beyond bilingualism in education, which sees the two languages as separately performed, and which is what we are doing, honestly, after kindergarten. I teach English and speak English in English classes, and my counterpart, Turkish teacher, speaks Turkish in her lessons. Translanguage in education encourages bilingual performances that in so doing enable students to move simultaneously along the continuum of two socially constructed languages according to standards of the community and the home as well as those of school. So we are going beyond English being spoken and taught separately and Turkish being spoken and taught separately, but we try to combine them. Now it's here we recently covered an article, a study conducted by Kenan Hoca in a kindergarten offering bilingual education. The part that struck me the most was the interviews with teachers. At first, they were hesitant. They didn't feel comfortable when their students spoke Turkish in English lessons because I too, God forbids, like I pretend like I don't understand Turkish, I don't know Turkish. So I was like that too before. So these teachers, they also were uncomfortable when students spoke Turkish in English lessons. But as they went along with the study and under the mentorship of Kenan Hoca, there were interviews, I read them, and it was like a more philosophical approach, questioning translanguaging, even questioning their role in the class, like, what am I doing here? Who am I? Why are we here? What are we doing here? So, and at the end, they adapted translanguaging and they reported positive outcomes. And here is this one little thing I did yesterday. We were talking about poetry and we were talking about syllables. Now, normally I would never do this, but I asked one student to come to the board and write a Turkish word, and she wrote this, Demet. And then I showed the syllables in Turkish, that it has two syllables, this Turkish word. And I wrote an English word, beautiful, and I showed that it's different than Turkish and that this word has three syllables. So I used Turkish and English. There was no Turkish teacher in the class, so she couldn't explain this in Turkish. It would be nicer. But at least I used their mother language in the class while explaining this topic. This is one little example of translanguaging that I applied in the class yesterday. So, like I said, there are many other ideas, creative ideas, new ideas in the class, but these are the ones that I have covered for today, and thank you for listening.